Stealing part of your DNA? Are people normally there? What is the problem?
Is a primitive acquisition of property part of the DNA of any capitalist? Any capitalist? Simon, I'm talking to you. Any capitalist.
They want to steal.
How many people have accumulated wealth, especially civil servants in this country? And we are looking at politicians with the iron sheets of about 30,000. 30,000 per each. Per each.
Because for us, Obubi is not about the amount. It's the act.
It's not about the amount.
Nebo bankoko, olina bank.
Naye gwe omanyi nti n'oli mubbi. Omanyi nti no gwe oli mubbi. Mmotoka ki gy'ovuga? Emipiira gyonna kwegiri. Kaakati, don't mind, I know ovuga mmotoka. Kakati bw'otuuka ku traffic n'oba waayo ku kasente gwe oli mubbi, oli kubba ggwanga, oli mubbi.
Ate ggwanga lyempa omusolo n'envuga amakubo agalimu ebinnya lyo terinziba.
Webalijjo naye traffic gy'owadde lwakubanga okoze traffic offense n'omuwa katipu n'ogamba ndeka gwe ya mubbi asooka.
So Musa, you are trying to show that Namisinda tugambye nti abantu beewammwe babbi. That's what I am saying.
No.
Yes, your daughter yabba n'aswaza eggwanga.
No. Omanyi okunyaga. Mpozi oba simanyi oba Luganda sirutegeera bulungi. Naye okunyaga n'okubba biriko njawulo. Kyemmanyi nze.
Okunyaga is by force. Okunyaga is by force.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes.
Okubba may not be, maybe even by bwongo.
Ng'omuntu tategedde. Naye gwe otegedde ekitabu
kino amaanyi oba okubbisa amagezi bobbisa amaanyi wakufuuse kunyaga bobbisa amagezi bwe bubbi.
I think maybe that is Luganda which I cannot understand deeply as a language.
Buuza ku bantu baffe tutandika.
Njagala nnyo okubuuza mwenna mwebale nnyo okutuuka olwaleero ku Sunday. Rastaman uno His Majesty Empress Lasajia Rastafari. Watu wangu eneo bunge langu kule Bugisu, maeneo za Lwahaha, Bumbo, Bubutu, Magale. Nataka niseme karibuni tena. Najua mnanitazama vizuri. Kesho tutakuwa Kenya pale Lwandanyi na speaker wa Kenya Mheshimiwa Wetangula. Tutakuwa hapo tukianzilisha shule hapo, commissioning of the school in Lwandanyi ni Kenya. Nataka niseme watu wangu tukiwa majirani na watoto wetu pia wako Lwandanyi, mimi nikiwa mbunge wenu nitakuwa huko kesho. Karibuni sana, karibu sana. Asante.
John Musila Bubulo East, Member of Parliament, mwene ya Parliament ya 10 n'endala era nga Rastafarian tubanaye wano buli lwabalaza namusubiza okumuleetera ogutabo ogubbago The Black Man Power aye ngwerabire.
Naye nze nkuleete ndese ki? Common Man's Charter.
That's the book?
Yes, this is the book. In its original form.
You have a touch.
And you know we were arguing about Chankwanzi.
Chankwanzi. No, let me first see then you read
yes.
Chankwanzi. Mona.
Yeah.
Sika, this is the Common Man's Charter.
1960.
The Republic of... You know it was a government document?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was a party thing of UPC.
No.
The Common Man's Charter.
Yes.
By Dr. A. Milton Obote.
Yes. With
appendices, Appendix A1, Proposals for National Service, document number 2. Appendix 2, Communication from the Chair of the National Assembly on 20th of April 1970. Appendix 3, Labor Day Speech, 1st May 1970. Ngakagula shillings nya. Sebo, owa kamera aluwa sika Common Man's Charter eno. Abantu banja bayina emyaka ng'egijo tebagirabanga. You zoom in the Common Man's Charter. Akatabo kalinga the Common Man's Charter.
Nakakuba ebirakalaka lwakubanga kakadde nnyo okuva nkaaga mwenda.
Okakuumye naye from nkaaga mwenda. Nkaaga mwenda because kali mu 1970.
Yes.
That's the Common Man's Charter by Apollo Milton Obote.
Government document, not party.
So this is a government document?
Yes. So, mwelekeo, Waswahili wanasema mwelekeo.
The common man's charter.
Yes.
So you want to read Kyankwanzi?
Oyinza okwesomera gwe mwennyini.
Where is it? Here.
Awo ku training.
Training. Kale twabaga nti mwami Dr. Obote yaleka ayagala wabeerewo Kyankwanzi in every region, and I challenged my brother, and this is what the book says. But maybe before I read, let my brother Jackson where asooka alamuse ku bantu. Then we read Jackson. Lamusa ku bantu. Nja kusoma. No,
I will point to the real place.
Abatu bonna n'abatuwuliriza ntwala omukisa guno okubalamusaaku aya nesosone ndolamusaaku abantu baife abeidinda ekamuli n'emayuge mwebale kwikiriza kubakola mulimo amaina nga bwe bagogeire ninze Were Jackson atwala ekitongole kyebeta Droha Uganda ekityaime idinda okuliraana obwakyabazinga.
Droha Uganda. What is Droha?
Droha is an acronym. Ayera nichetukozesa nga legal name. Mpozi okwongera kinonula kiri ku bishi byetukola. Tuli ku empowering communities eda Busoga. Tulirwanisa obwavu mu Busoga era nga tubita mu kusikiringa abantu both hard and soft. Soft skills dirimu ebintu bingi ni hard skills. Omuntu owundi yali ese vocational skills. So nebyo byetulikola. I am a social worker, I am also a lawyer, and I am also a real estate developer. Never zaino mukisa.
Otyeme kusente. Real estate developer, lawyer, educationist now, because you have also peeped there. You are peeping there.
Yeah, we are peeping there. Katono ife tuenda kuvitambu bino byebeta hands-on skills.
Kale tukwaniza ndikwenda tukija wa John Musila mbone common man's charter about Kyankwanzi particularly.
About Kyankwanzi, just read the training and then you go to Roman 1. Okay. And continue up to Roman 4.
Roman 4.
Even in the Busoga, it was supposed to be built there, although Kyankwanzi was built first.
Okay. You know, I love politicians who are rare, who speak with evidence.
Oh, yes.
Evidence-based speech. You told me it happened.
Yes.
Now, those praising. Okay. This is page 14 of the Common Man's Charter, and it says, training camps and centers. It is proposed to establish a national training camp stock centers at regional, parliamentary constituency and sub-county levels. It is further proposed that these camps should be self-sufficient, at least in food, after the initial period, which should not be longer than 2 years. Kyankwanzi is still drawing from the national coffers, although they were supposed to be self-sustained.
But it is, to some extent.
National training camps at regional level. It is proposed to establish initially 4 national training camps, one in each of the 4 regions. The following sites have been suggested. Buganda region, Kyankwanzi area, west of River Mayanja, and south of Kafu River, in a single county, in Mubende district.
Thank you.
This is Obote suggesting.
Is it not there? And it was built first before you went in 1971. So when I'm speaking, I speak from the truth.
So it is Obote who built Kyankwanzi.
Who built Kyankwanzi. I challenged one lecturer, actually Professor Kamuntu. Is it Kamuntu? Ephraim Kamuntu. When he said this was built as a prison, I said no, it is here. Pure.
This
it was
Obote,
the first.
Obote suggests, he even states where it should be built, and was built there.
And now you read, at the time it was not Mubende, it was not what, it was a single, the directions. Is it not west of River Mayanja?
So this is the man you call a pig.
That's why when I say there are only 2 serious governments in independent Uganda. First Obote and NRM. Yeah, no, read on. What was supposed to be yes.
You cannot equate Obote's government to yours. No.
I don't
This was the government of the people. This one is the government of the few.
Yeah,
few people.
We will talk about it.
This is one. Second, Eastern region.
Second, yes, where?
He proposed another Kyankwanzi in Eastern region, saying Eastern region, Chitumba area, in both Sabadu and Mumyuka, in Bukoli County, in Busoga district.
Do you know where Bukoli is now? Bugiri. In your own backyard. Bugiri.
He wanted a Chankwanzi.
Don't we have Bukoli constituencies?
We have.
That is it.
Northern region. The third one, northern region. West of Alero, the area between Asua and Dengdenga rivers in Anaka, Kilaka County, Acholi district.
I think this is the place called now Moya or something like that.
Around Moya.
And around there. Today. Then the fourth.
In western Uganda.
Yes.
River Rumi area, south of the areas occupied by Prison Farm, group farming and refugee areas to Lake Kabaleka, on the eastern side of Kasese Fort Portal Road, in Bunyangabu County, in Bunyangabu County, in Itoro district.
Now Bunyangabu is a district. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. That's where it was supposed to be. So you tell me, the moment Mwami Simon, you don't have the wealth of history, we go wrong. This is why, for any good scientist,
this man is this is wonderful.
And they were supposed to be at his constituency.
This is
down
wonderful.
To sub-county.
I can continue reading here.
Yes.
I'm just speaking a few things of what he said.
Yes.
He said, it is proposed that these camps be primarily but not exclusively for adults.
Thank you.
The youth of various categories may do their national service in these camps, both in company with the adults or exclusively on their own. All persons called up to serve in these centers or at any one of them will participate in agriculture, animal husbandry, and related activities irrespective of their professions or occupations, as well as attend courses on national consciousness, what you are calling patriotism, and promotion and advancement of culture. In Museveni,
read 14 before we talk. Read number 14. Read number 14. Hey. Those were the objectives and the aims and whatever.
Museveni is the son of Obote. No question about this. This I can now. 11. Lectures and demonstration activities will be conducted in English and appropriate vernacular languages. In addition, some African languages, Swahili, Luganda, and Lingala will be taught.
Very good.
This is Obote.
Obote.
Number 12.
Yes.
Each camp will be constructed in such a manner as to have a women's wing and a men's wing, and special subjects in domestic science and child care will be conducted for women.
Yes.
It is further proposed to provide facilities for worship at these camps.
Exactly.
Hey, this Obote was a brilliant man.
Yes.
Let me read the last one.
Yes.
The lecturers and the staff required for demonstration purposes will be drawn from persons called up for national service and having relevant knowledge in their various fields for the type of courses conducted. These people will undergo a course in national consciousness and advancement of culture. I think this is in patriotism. No person will do the whole of his national service in any or all of these camps. And then he goes to constituencies. You want a constituency centers?
Yes.
And then sub-county.
Exactly, under sub-county.
This is the money that you are wasting in the patriotism clubs. Today I confirm without more doubt that Museveni is another Obote nga yeyubuire.
I wanted to ask you.
Mr. Museveni has denied. He has wanted to stand on his own, but I think the influence on Obote, Mr. Museveni has oluyirwe balwawulamu. One side is Obote, another side is Nyerere.
I just wanted to ask, when Jesus, you are Simon, when Jesus begins his mission, does he conflict with the earlier prophets?
Not at all.
Moses or
Not
others?
Not at all.
No. The country is the same. Even if it is you replacing President Museveni. You will have to carry on this country the way it is.
But you acknowledge. Yeah, I'm a scholar. Fetusome ebitabo.
Am I
When you
not-
are quoting from John Musila's book, you
Yes.
say John Musila, you
Yes.
quote.
Am I
You
not
quote, you
NRM?
acknowledge.
You know I'm NRM, isn't it?
You.
Why am I referring to this?
Museveni cannot acknowledge that.
I don't care. We don't have time on TV. If today I gave you Common Man's Charter and then the original 10-point program.
This is theirs. The original 10-point program. The original 10-point program.
Their father and the son.
Yes, I've come here to tell them they have libraries, what, and they're just joking. Now I see from your library.
Rastafari is Majesty Prasilasai.
This is the first Bible of the NRM, the 10-point program. So it looks like when the first Museveni was there. Kagama kataboka boine. NRM publication. You know the opposite. The other one is a government document.
Yes.
This one, it says, is an NRM publication.
Yeah, of course, at the time, it was also government policy at the time. You go to the content and see if the contents are not here.
What I can do is I can reread
yes.
the 10 points.
Yes.
Only in
Only
brief.
that. Just reread.
These are the 10-point programs that our government wanted to have. First,
Not wanted, they have been implemented. Today, to the letter. We can have a discussion, my dear Simon.
let me read.
Okay.
Let me read.
It will be very
Number one.
Yes.
Establishment of popular democracy. You think we have that one?
Why not? Actually, in the whole of Africa, we are the most prolified in electing leaders. Where do you get in Tanzania or Kenya, where there is an LC1? Equivalent.
So you call a stage managed, selected,
No,
leaders?
how do you stage manage an LC1, LC2, LC3? You can't. My dear, and these are the real patriots. Simon, your LC1 writes for you a letter to get a passport, to get everything. I'm telling you, patriotically, at 10,000 per month. I don't know what you call that. These are the real patriots of Uganda, like the teachers. Continue.
Point number two, restoration of security.
You think we have not secured our borders?
We lost 42 in Kasese last week.
Thank you so
we have
much.
Security.
Skirmishes.
Thank you, John. We
Yes.
have security. We lost
Skirmishes.
42 in
Yes.
Kasese. Consolidation of unity.
Don't you think so?
Where?
Now Uganda knows
Akokoro,
that it is
akokoro,
Uganda.
akokoro.
Now Uganda knows it is Uganda.
John, no akokoro.
Yeah,
Akokoro everywhere.
You see,
Akokoro. We have akokoro. Number four, defending of national independence.
Yes.
Yes, we signed the anti-homosexuality bill to defend our country. Building of a national economy. Some extent, yes. Okay. Restoration and rehabilitation of social services. 0 marks. 0 completely.
Rehabilitation
0.
and...
Social services. You have nothing there.
Are you sure?
Nothing there.
My God.
Completely.
My God.
Number 7. Elimination of corruption and misuse of power.
Good debate, we can do that.
Last night they even forgave those who try on sheets. Point number 7. Elimination of corruption and misuse of power.
Why?
Let me read number 8. Resettlement of the displaced people, 100%. That one I give you tick. You have resettled displaced people, but also used your soldiers and rich people to displace others from their pieces of land. So you settled some,
yes,
and you are chasing others.
Like where?
Where haven't you chased people from their pieces of land?
Oh, no, those are individuals. Those are individuals. But you say this is a government program. They went here, chased people, and settled the
when
others.
they chase civilians,
in
and the land is guarded by soldiers. You think that's not the government? The land is, they deploy soldiers to guard. One man chases a village of 1,000 residents.
Those excesses were even in other governments. Excesses of individuals abusing power. Those ones are
regional cooperation And human rights.
And
number four, that's number. That one you have
and,
done.
And read the common man's charter,
Regional
whether there was no regional cooperation.
Number 10, following a strategy of a mixed economy.
Beautiful.
That one you have tried.
Thank you.
But these two here,
yes,
elimination of corruption and misuse of power, resettlement of displaced people.
Yes. Now, out of 10, you are doubting 3. 70%. Above average. Above average.
Let's go for a break. We return. That was Musila. Huge Obote leaves. That's all I wanted to have. Jackson, what do you think when we read this? Is history? And you were a lawyer, you must have come across this.
First of all, okutegeera Mwai Museveni olina okureflectinga ku ebyobufuzi ebyabakoloniyo bala abaatufuga mu mirembe gya 1900 oba abagezaako okupartitioninga Uganda mu 80s. Intention yaibwe yali ki era badevelopinga batya oba bakozesa strategy ki okutuuka okuba nga basobola otufuga ebbanga lye baatufugira. Now ebyobufuzi batoluso nja kusaba nti mbikoone ku katono because given the nature of my work bireetamu okulowooza nti maybe osavinga bano ate bano tobenda ate nga tuli mu community eri mu buli muntu, but akatono kensobola obyogeraku. First of all, abantu abavaayo okwidda mu leadership, they are political animals, and by that what do they have to do is they have to accumulate political capital. You made a statement earlier and you said Bolingira President Museveni is a replica of Obote. Granted, but singa Mwai Museveni bwe yali ayikwidda oba President Museveni bwe yali ayikwidda yakuba ati bananze ndijja akola by'Obote, who would give attention to such an individual?
Nobody.
The question would be then, why are you coming? What is wrong
Why
with
do you
this?
lose Obote?
But this world, tuli mu competition. And until when you realize that you are living in a competitive world, then you have got not to innovate. Tolija ku innovatinga, tolija kuba creative. So, olundi politics of the day forces people who are political animals in a way to have a strategy. But a strategy yabanti soka okube mwami Obote ono. Mpegano mu bantu baife bano abayinza okuba bazira bulungi biseera balingirira byoli bakoba nti Obote mubi. Okay. Aye bwoire eno ye mwene walingira wakoba oti eiwanga nga Uganda nditembe etyo twala mu maiso. Bwe mbanga tiringirire bano bye bakola ebirungi ninja nabyo mu maiso ebibi ninkola ki nimbize mbali. So ojo kweyagana nga bwoba twayize no mwene niwe fumintirizo gyobonanga okay mwami Obote yalina kino ekirungi social transformation kyali kirungi walondamu era tikiswaza kubanga byoyogera mu bantu bo biyinza okubanga tibigemagana nibyoli kukola practically kubanga byoli tulijja okola practically biyinza okubanga tibisobola kwawukana na bano baida before you. Only that oyinza okunonyamu engeri gy'okyusakyusamu so that the political giant in you, the leader in you, you promise these people to be aboneka, but that has got to be at the expense of your predecessors. And I think this overall faulting President Museveni yukoba nti bano bali bayine mistake daibwe. As a political human being, he has got to accumulate political capital. He has got to be relevant. Kati relevance eyo eidana akwogera ku bibi. Olundi oyinza okiringira mu social setup. Eriyo kampe example ya abakwana bakaba naibwe. Aida yakoba ati Baloidi nga mwenzi akola kino ni kino. Aye nga kiri nti by a mere fact nti you're taking a step okukwana mukamwino.
You are more mwenzi than anything.
Oli mwenzi ate ino. But because you have got to dominate, oli kwenda kubanga owininga.
Take space.
Olina okubanga osooka kwogera ku omusaada wa uboli kwana nti mwenzi begano kubanga tolisobola kukozesa conscience yo kudigestinga bintu oyinza okuloza nti ono ikyali kukoba kituufu aye ole byali kola ne bisinga bubi aye bwe babwenzi obwenzi buliwa obwenzi buli mu kutandika kyoli kola straight away n'oba obwenzi so kyoli kola bwenzi gwolivunza gwolikoba nti mwenzi
actually iwolikola kyene ekyo kyolikoba
so nze I choose to look at it that way. It is a competition, it is a political competition, a contestation, where you have got to accumulate political capital. Ate otuuke ng'osobola abantu okubona nti kyoli oli kuyida mu buyaka, toli kuyida kutwala byabale bye batandika. Aye ate bw'olingira trends all over the world, maybe tusobola taking example where you say, Bobo engeri gye bayi nti balina bwe baatuuka mu democracy obonanga you are not coming to change so much. Okuwa ekyokuboneraku bwe baalonda president emeritus Barack Obama Abafrika baajaganya ino but engeri bo gye bali they are organized ebintu bye balina engeri gye bitambuza iwe ni bw'oba toli kwida na bibyo oli kuyida kukola katugeza aba democrats bye bayikiririzaamu oba aba republic bye bakola ki bye bayikiririzaamu but you as an individual there is nothing much you're going to do what to change. So nze ntyo bwe nenda okubona Obote versus President Museveni. Practically does President Museveni have something different byali n'okola? Maybe by way of inventing around the wheel oba modification aye bwolingirira ba president abavireku eri abayina ebirungi bye bali balikolera ensinga Uganda. It is true osobola olondamu so iwe bwobanga oliwo nga niwe President Museveni olijatandika from the space. Of course no, you have got to read wategeera nti bano baali balikola ki buti engeri gye bali nti bazirawo so ebirungi wabizimbiraku maybe byotayikirizaganya nabyo wakola ki wabireka but ng'olikola ekyo olina okusooka okakasa abantu. This is when the politics comes in to spoil sometimes nti oli kwida ayo oli kwida bundi different from those ababaire baliwo.
Wonderful. He talks about the National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi and Obote seeks to establish other regional training centers. Yakoba, and the subjects there should be agricultural production, what he calls national consciousness, which I mean is patriotism,
Yes.
and then advancing our culture. So that we must remain Ugandan, the Pan-African thing you say. He says we must, as much as possible, teach our master to keep our Ugandanness,
Yes.
love their country, and start their agricultural production. For now, we see only one training center in Chankwanzi. Do you think we still need the others in these areas, according to, because you are now in skills, hands-on, what?
Of course, we do need some of these things across the country. Aye, olundi tuambala ino specs other politics, and we choose to see everything politically. I think I'll make reference to a signpost jembo nango likuingira mu Jinja Town eriku Leadership Institute.
Yeah.
That army, the one of the military.
Ekigendererwa kya Chankwanzi kya kutrainingirayo ba younger cadres ba taking up positions oba kya kutraininga bantu basobola taking up opportunities in whatever levels.
It was actually about opportunities. When you look at the curriculum he designed, he wants to train everybody in national service in different areas.
Now, what do we solve late? Okay, what do I solve late? Obonange Chankwanzi ejayo bantu bakalondebwa. Aya abavuka baife abebusoga bebaliko banti oba betuli designing la program edibatola mu lilo tubatwaire kweyo niba ba trained nga purely oli kweta abantu from different angles to talk to these people ku ngeri gye basobola ovaa mu bwavu. So now we are now brainwashed oba muti tulowooza nti Kyankwanzi erina ojaaya abantu either abakalondebwa oba abawagira certain party baba training nga ekiri ba traininza kufuna ku accumulatinga political capital oba kusobola managing affairs politically. But yawo twava ku mulamu omutuufu kubanga what we are struggling now, if you look at Busoga, I will majorly talk about Busoga because it is where we are trying to do a contribution in seeing that people are out of poverty. Ojawe yagana nti mulimu abantu bangi abali baire benda Ekyankwanzi eno
okutuukayo
babatendeke babakobe nti look, government all over the world teri gyaleeta mugaati egute ku meeza yo. Ayo olina struggling where you can struggle okuboneka nti bwe babakobye nti balikuleeta mulinga balikuleeta vanilla ono omumanaginza otya. In fact nze mbona nga Kyankwanzi yali bairejjayo abantu baife bano abawansi nibo abakulembeze bano ba LCs bajeeyo kubanga naaba balijogemaganya ate bwe babanga batuuseeyo tulobe kukola tune nga it is more political or purely political. Ngaye mulimu ni social bit of it, mulimu economic bit of it.
And Obote talks about which subjects he expects in Kyankwanzi. He's clear on what he expects. He does not talk about teaching people in party politics.
No.
In party, he says national service, agricultural production, national consciousness, advancement of culture. For him, he looked at these training centers as a preparation of Were Jackson to go and serve his country. The orientation you need. Not that you're going to serve your country. You may be speaking English every day. You may go and work elsewhere, but keep your Ugandaniness, keep your culture, love your country.
Exactly.
It's now, the diversion now is, that according to Obote, even FDC and NUP would go to Kyankwanzi, according to him, because it was for everyone.
Yes.
The change now is something we need to discuss. But I think the Musas can FDC take their cadre to Kyankwanzi?
They already have slogans. Now, objective number 1 for national service. Let me ask the young lawyer to read for me. Objective number 1. One Uganda, one people. Can you read from here? Where did they get this slogan?
The basic objective of national service will be to mobilize all able-bodied persons to develop a real sense of individual collective responsibility to society within the overall national goal of one country, one people.
FDC, one Uganda, one people. Where did they get this?
This was one country, it's one people.
One country,
so for them,
one people. FDC, one Uganda.
For them, they just remove the country to put Uganda.
Thank you. Where do they get the slogans? You see, prophecy, building a mission is not achieved in one generation, in 2 or so. No, the country must move. Let me just very quickly go through.
This one is one country, one people.
One country, one people. One Uganda.
Same thing.
Thank you.
The exact
now,
thing.
if you are saying NRM, where did the FDC get that? Is it not from the Common Man's Charter? Now, let me go to
so
what
I must. Which means even FDC admired Obote.
Oh, yes. We must dissect this because out of the 10-point program, the 10 points, you were doubting 3 of them. I've taught for over 30 years. I know a person who gets 70% is a very bright child. Yes. Like you, Muyanga. So thank you for saying NRM has performed. But let me just take you a little. Establishment of popular democracy is point number 1 here. Look here. To build a Republic of Uganda as one country with one people, one parliament, one government. Common Man's Charter, 10-point program. Let me read for you another one. Point number 5 here. Building a national economy. What do we have here? It is Roman 5. To plan. point 5, Roman 5, isn't it? Let me read it for you. Here it is building a national economy. Common Man's Charter to plan Uganda's economic development in such a way that the government, through parastatal bodies, the cooperative movement, private companies, individuals in industry, commerce, agriculture, will effectively contribute to increase production to raise the standards of living.
That's a mixed economy already.
Is it not a mixed economy? So I don't want to read anymore.
Thank you.
But let me
simply,
you had brought something which is quite controversial. On the 3 points, establishment of democracy, you said elimination of corruption, point number 7. Yes, you are right. You are right. We do have. And we expose this corruption. You have not
eliminated the corruption.
Yeah.
That one has failed.
We are. Then there were 3 points, more. But the 2, establishment. Number 1, which you doubted, which you must allocate some marks for NRM. That is the establishment of popular democracy. At least there is a semblance, sir. You may doubt.
No. Let us understand this. What, by definition, is popular democracy? Maybe you help me define that. The lawyers have, you have.
To me, as long as people participate in election of their own leaders, the way they think.
As long as they participate. But you don't mind about how they participate, but for as long as they participate.
No. As long as they participate and how they participate, who they participate with, all those. I know there are flaws here and there. You know, Simon, you were talking about, did you say Dokolo?
Akokoro.
Akokoro is the former president's home. The village, I think, Akokoro.
And it is now everywhere. Every office you go to, Akokoro.
Yeah, I have been to Akokoro myself, I know, in Greater Lango. At one time, when the hatred in this country was about the northerners, they named them Badokoro. Today, Dokoro, yes. Now look at what Museveni says on page 14 of the original mustard seed. He says here, while they were still in Tanzania, and he writes himself, for instance, some of the younger boys were disqualified on the grounds that they were Banyarwanda. They were put in camps and given no food so that they would desert the army. Later, Oito Joko started recruiting illegal militias from north of the country, as had been done in the 60s. Those dynamisms are there. This is his own book, which I read, the original edition. First, 1997. I bought it in 1998. This is why you see it is very old.
I bought mine and gave it to Sam Iwa and Mugabe, who lost it.
Who lost it. That's why I'm very, very careful with this one. So all these dynamics have been around this country. Ours is the leaders who come, like President Museveni. You are not going to brush him away from the Common Man's Charter. Jesus comes, he does not condemn. He does not condemn, at least in public, he does not condemn Moses or other prophets. He doesn't. He says, no, we must correct here and there. So the Jesus, the political Jesus who comes in Uganda in the name of Museveni, must build on what others founded for. You know, if you had been in the 60s, during Obote's time, this country was completely divided. Even making it a republic, Uganda is saying, no, we are independent. These nationalists, let him go back to Akokoro. Let him go back to Akokoro. You see? Those are the issues. Museveni, when you talk of uniting the country, point number 3, consolidation of unity. He's not saying, I'm going to build unity, consolidating. What Obote did, what Amini did, I'm going to consolidate. He has done it for the 40 years. There have been attempts, by the way. Buganda with, the talk of federal. The way I understand the federal, of course, is very different from how it is understood here in the central. You see, West Nile. I think you have even heard of Yira Republic. Now, if government in power can consolidate you Are we not in fulfillment of point number 3? My dear brother, we need maybe 5 hours to scan through our history, implementation of all government. This is why I will never, as a patriot, as a nationalist, I've never condemned any of the leaders. Not even Amin. Not even Amin. You know, yesterday I was passing, my home is in Mukono, but at times I use Kalagi Road. And you pass in Poma, that ground satellite. Do we have to demolish because Amin built it? Do we have to do that? Recently I was in the US for the first time in New York. Not the first time in the US, but in New York. And I looked at, President Amin, that building, 14 stories, just next to the UN. Just next to the UN. And so you say, Amin did not do anything here? That's not the way I reason. No, that's not the way I reason. I am a full cadre of the country, not NRM alone. Yes, while I subscribe to NRM, I am a Ugandan first. The way you see my colors. I'm proud to be a Ugandan. This is how we must reason. Not condemning the past leaders per se, saying they did nothing. No, that's not the discussion we should have.
A short break. No,
you have known.
I have known.
You have known. I've compared. I can read the whole 10-point programs pulled out of
what I'm going to do
common
I'm going to photocopy all of those.
Yes.
I can read
exactly.
them.
I can as well. You know, when Museveni was making this as chairman, the 10-point program, he produced this book later, Sowing the Mustard Seed. And he explains whether regional cooperation, you will get it here. But you also get it flowing from the common man's
No, now that you've shown me FDC in the common man's charter, yes. You have silenced.
One country, one people, one Uganda, one people.
One people. Let us now look at a very rare topic. That is our argument for today. It's an exciting one. You can follow us on our Facebook pages, Baba Television Uganda, on Instagram and on Twitter. This discussion is also live streaming on our platform. You can follow us there if you are not in Uganda, or if you cannot access TV, just live stream the Baba TV Uganda. You'll be able to follow what we are doing. We now touch the very last monster for today. The monster of skills education. Training people with skills. Jackson makes even a difference in the skills. Soft skills and hard skills. Let us start from understanding the two before even we look at the need. What is the difference?
Well, I want to appreciate you for giving me an opportunity to speak to what the two means and why the two anyway. The hard skills are what we call vocational skills. Of course, an umbrella of hands-on skills. Now, when we talk about hard skills, we are referring basically to welding, shoemaking, beauty and cosmetology or hairdressing. We are talking about things to do with the learning to do agriculture, but with the hands-on skills, and many others. Now, you realize that poverty is not just a result of absence of these hard skills. Those ones are mentioned. But it goes beyond that, and they are what we have categorized to be soft skills. We are talking about things like financial literacy, someone getting the skills to manage what he has gotten out of the hard skills. You can call it SRH, because SRH is wide. Sexual reproductive health is wide, and it entails even things to do with how can you manage your business as someone who is starting vis-a-vis managing your affairs at home. But we also have to tackle GBV, gender-based violence. Because if you are not careful, you will start a business, but the family will break, will get torn apart. So,
so the family has a leg
exactly
in your business.
Exactly.
And the business has a space in the family.
In the family. Because
I agree. When you have trouble home,
you cannot realize. Exactly.
Bikusumbuwa okola okambuwala bwe kambuwaza tobitegeera.
Olijja ava wano oje wale entinda waigulu mu katale. Oyagane abantu babika bibiri. Gwolijja obuuza oti ono duma wa sente imeka. Akoba ati customer tusangaire. Oya iti museera wanusu bitya?
Bibiri.
Oje oyo mulala
wero kamize
oyagane owundi ali okukoba aha oyagane owundi aje ogoje obuzo oti ono waimeka akoba ati akakunamiriza n'okunamiriza oba alinze mulakoba ati oyo wa bibiri asirike
kumpi n'omunwa akunamiriza eno kabina n'akaliikuiramu ati oyo wa bibiri.
Exactly.
Attitude.
Mpegano aba babiri walienze egulawo
bombi bali mu katale
bombi bali muki
ngula kwolananiriza
olijaje ogule kola akwaniriza but interrogate lwaki bali abantu babiri aye mu katale n'akalala atenga they are both competing for me idea okugula
doing the same business.
So they are competing for me customer aye batyo ba choosing zo conducting a business so joko yagana nga bubuliriza ino noyenda okutegeera lwaki onakwize mneyo attitude ye yayinza oba tujje bamuzaala nayo aye ebintu ebiri around him okuviira erala waka nebiri contributinga ku ekyo
nemuleeta okwebisaati
nebiri muleetera okwebisaati
obonako oli mukaawu tirwakubeera yoyidde neeri obuzwa yeyewasuze
aye ate bw'orelating eyo situation ni business edigire mu maiso ojja okweyagaana nga dona linza obadde atandika katono aye ekyaditwala mu maiso it is how they managed their affairs ni bakasitoma nga mubatwalire era tikyewuunisa omwezi ogwirako okwagaana nga ono omukyala either eyikiriire ku mudaala gwe kuliko obuntu butono oba nga azira nawo aye ebyo byonna byonna olundi nga bisiteemiize kuva eno omwami amubisiisa atya ku nkyo buli lwavaawo omwami amwogerera biki naako bali ndijja mu katale amwogera biki alijja amwerekereza bigambo oli nakumbuuka olijja abona basaada bandi eyo biki era ye nange omukyala bw'abanga ali kukola bizinesi gy'ali kola asigala mu mbeeredde okutegeera nti
kanaleseeyo omwami
obuvunaanyizibwa gwe ndina okulabira n'abaana oba atandika obona ati nze omusaada amwendeza ki after all ndina nsobola okwemerezaawo family yange okwemerezaawo abaana bange ninze mwene yemerezaawo kikyalega ku meeza so ebintu oti n'ebyo tuteekwa okubitwalira awalala bwe tubanga tulikoba nti we want to transform our communities twabanga tituli kwogera bwa kutraining abantu mu skills aye nga nibino tuli bitrainingamu then watuuka mu component ng'ey'okumanaginga obusente obwaki obwa business mukulu Simon banka bweba erijja okuwa loan abantu balina omuze leero island nti asobola yajja yayimera ni ku baaba yakoba ati eno business yange bamukuba ekifaanyi baatwala aye ngaekirimuereza ng'ali kulimba aye kirimu emereza ku eyo kubanga baaba erina accountant ekuuma ebitabo byayo banka erijja asobola okutegeera nti guno omwezi mwayingiza diti okuva mu bulango mwayingiza dino okuva mu bulango ekitegeeza bano abantu bwe tubawa looni tulijja abawa ya $2,000,000 bajja asobola ogisasula ate nga n'amaka gaibwe gayikola titulijja abawa looni erijja okubatoola oba okubasuula so financial literacy kyaba kintu kikulu ino bwe tubanga tuli kwogera ku skillinga ba youth inewe esobola okubatoola mu bwavu titulina abatwalira just okubathrowingira nti butimwega ebyalaani first of all otegeire nga abantu bonabona abolikola mu passion yaibwe eri mu byalaani bw'oba tokitegeire then oli basula ku kyalaani do you think they have will they have a contribution in out? Oba niwe olijo strugglinga nabo okuva lwe batandise paka lwe bajja okomenkerera amala ekyalaani okimuwe tokyengulevinze akigema akikola atya akikube mu edaamangu ajje mu betting otaire mu effort y'amaani ino aye effort ye yegendereire kyera ekyusisa era kikyolibonaku ekiri feasible. So nekyo ekyendawulo.
Is this what you're calling vocational education? Any package yamulina yamwe?
If package
skills education or vocational education?
It is skills education aye erimu vocation.
Ebyo bye muli kusomesa.
Ebyo bye
government etubwe balagira oba yimwe bwe muli kulowooza.
Well,
because government ya Uganda ina plan ya skills education. Your skills, your vacancy, David, is it? Did you say every sub-county?
Yes, every sub-county.
You want a vocation?
Now it is even in our curriculum.
It is in the curriculum.
But abaana bali ku isomero
mwamaze ne muwete kona ne mugijamu a skills school for sub-county ne muda skills education ne musa mu secondary education.
I think tebawese kona kye bakoze, they are looking at two different categories of people. Those in school and out of school. I think out of school is when we look at the sub-county level. Now, in school is where it is being incorporated in the curriculum. Nti omwana ajja okuva mu isomero ng'alina ku skill jaidi. Aye empegano bana ba school drop out, how are they managed? I think that is when they talk about secondary, sub-county level.
I can
Is that, this is the last question I'm going to ask you before I go to John. Ekyo Busoga kye yeetaaga, because Busoga erina abantu obukaire bonna n'emitwalo 4 abavubuka bangi ino obwavu buli kuba bungi buli wabyabufuzi ali kulumukira Busoga. Imagine okuba Busoga oti ndavu okusinga Karamoja. So ekyo kyoli kukola as Droha Uganda, as Jackson Were, ekyo Busoga kyeyenda.
Mami Simon, Busoga yonka tinekyenda.
Nde gye ndi kwenda.
Aye nga bwosazeewo okwogera bwe tukoye tujja kwogera ku Busoga. Busoga ekyo ekintu kye yeetaaga. In fact kyalwawo. Aye nenda okwebaza abanaife abali mu organization sector, organizations, nane government organization. Nti kabiri ife okusinga ku government ife tubaire n'ebiseera kubanga tuconcentrating awalala. Buti olundi government efunamuko okusoomozebwa nti erina ebintu bingi byalina okolako. So ife tukola study first of all, twakola study twategeera community eno bwe tuba tulina ogiyamba tulina akola biki. Nga tusose study nga gundi eyo community, particular community, twalingira on a number of things. Bwe tuba tulikola program choices twalingirira, is it really competitive? Is it market driven? Ebyo byonna byonna twabita mu nkola. Twalingira where is the gap? Because ojja akoba oti dino skills twakadireeta, so these people have been doing nothing. Eriyo ebibaire bikolebwa. Aye lwaki tibisoboire kuba ni kyebikyusa kiri significant. So tulina twastudying amwedo gaps. Twategeera nti no. Bw'olingirira buti nga Busoga erina high school dropouts. Aye abavubuka abo abali mu myaka nga 16 oba 15 paka 25 katutwale ekikiketeza balina challenges daibwe era n'endikiriza yo n'ekyukamu. Boti balijja kuyikirizanga Mwami Simon yakoba ati bwe naava gano mu kooti yange ndijja kaliro nsima ebidiba byange bona tiba tutuba yayikiriza ntemu
empere
those fish abonanga alikwerugaza. Mindset y'abavuka be Busoga yona yabanga bali bonanga ebintu ebindi tibyaibwe. Idukira is a school dropout yajaba yakoma P7, so even knows something small about white collar jobs. In fact bwabata ayikubona kuti vyayenda about niwe aibwe tubuuza buti woina degree maker ni mwene ebitabo bye byenkanachi. So bwe tubanga luli competing ababiri, who has the advantage over the other? So mpegano omukumi otyo omuyamba leetawo ekintu nga kikiri gyamutwalira ino biseera kubanga oli kudiiringa n'ebintu bingi which includes even the mindset bo bayikiriza nti you can go to the betting club mu dakiika ndala waakuba omuyindi waida waaterera wagula bajajiyo those are the challenges ediri mu community and n'omuntu gw'oli seeking okuyamba so the mindset obanga omaze okola study yona then yolina oleeta ekintu ekifitinga in there nekifaanana oti skills kubanga oli gyaba mu suuti ayo ge babatunga esuuti it is possible tojja kukola ki kwerugaza ate kibe nga kitwala obwire butono okukikola.
The hot cup at 9 ne Jackson Were. Honorable Musila.
Yes, sir.
What then is the role of government in promoting this kind of education? First, did you assess them?
I just wanted to know. I will use a bit of more English.
No problem.
I just wanted to know, who do you regard 5 richest people in Jinja City? You know them maybe? You
5
can mention 1 to 3
people.
Yes.
5
Those you regard in Jinja City as the richest, they have a lot of estates.
Yeah, the first one is Madivani.
Yes. No, leave Madivani out. He's Ugandan, I know, but leave him out first. I want, there are native and indigenous Ugandans. And to me, I call him... Yes. Mention even only 2. Okay, those you know, but at least they are rich.
Yali minister.
Yes.
Abaina di hotel.
Yes.
Mulimi wa majani.
Yes.
Bikado. Eriyo Jomo. Jomo owekachira. Musada Mugayiga alwire mu kulima ebikado nga utugrower.
Very good. Now I want Jomo. How educated is he?
Jomo ti musomino.
Thank you. You have done my day. Now let me begin.
Jomo ti musomino.
You can leave Migoreko. That one is...
One has a master's in economics.
Yeah, but that kind of wealth
former minister
can be interrogated. I want Jomo. From scratch, nothing. Abantu abatasomye nnyo bebagagga mu Uganda yonna. The most richest, go to Mbale, there is Wekomba, S3, Wekomba, with factories, it is Ungangano factory, you have seen it in Mbale. Yes, it is baking, whatever, flour. He has a coffee factory, he has estates, he has in Western Uganda, over 10,000 acres with animals there. S3. Now, what went wrong with our education system?
What went wrong?
What went wrong? You produce Musilas who are theorists, simple words and diction and whatever. I can speak the best of all English, getting all diction, all vocabulary of English. White collar. Okay? Now, President Museveni has put up 22 skilling centers. In Mbale, it is in Ruhonge. I mean, for Bugiso Eastern, Ruhonge. To cater for those who may not have continued with.
Formal education.
That is it. Now, the economy of any world is driven purely on those people, smaller people. You will think smaller people. Ato mwaro na avawa mwebusoga. Ebintu ebyo bitono byokola Judith Babirie. Obuntu obutono obwo abantu baffe banna Uganda bwe bakola is the one building this economy. And President Museveni under his 10-point program. This is why I will never leave this. You can talk of 22, 5, 14. No, everything is here. By 1987, he already realized and said, and you got these catchwords. A fundamental solution to all this is making deliberate effort to build an independent, integrated, and self-sustaining economy. Otia, this is how he solves it. Otia, This is how.
In fact, that's the question that voters don't ask you.
Exactly.
If they were asking
an independent, integrated, and self-sustaining economy. These were catchwords of the late 80s. Nagamba what? 1. Diversify agriculture away from the present narrow confines of the colonial cash crops. Today, ebikado cash crop. Ebijandalo cash crop.
Actually,
Busoga didn't know about maize.
In the 2023 budget you read,
yes,
I was surprised that maize
$131 million.
He has joined to be
maize $131 million. Beans $133 million, which was not there as an income to this country.
So awali pamba nemwani
yes. So the NRM diversify agriculture away. We don't have the time to explain. Let me just go through.
Diversify.
Number 2, building industries in the import substitution sector. What we have been doing, can we substitute? Do you know that in this budget we have just done substitution has saved us $3.5 billion. I don't know whether you know that. I'm saying, don't mind about standards. We can perfect along the way, but we are saving the dollars. Museveni knew this several years ago, almost 40 years. 3, aggressive industrialization should take place along the entire spectrum of our agricultural products. Is there any factory here which is not agro-related? All of them. Ndaba buno bu crisps bwa gonja mbagala nyonze mbulia
toke.
What not? We are making them here. Do we realize it should be us, the people of NRM, to teach? The Bible is here.
How do you teach what you don't know?
And the last maybe, there are so many, but let me end with number 4. Maybe. Construction of basic industries and others. Then you...
I want to wind up. We are talking about skills education, where government has labored for the last many years also to put a lot of money. Today, my brother Jackson Were explains this very well, what it means. And you know, when he talks about skills, one thing I have understood and I have loved, that sometimes when we talk about skills, people think about what you can do by your own hands. Yet for us, we also teach, in general, we teach communication skills. That you may know how to make entebe, a good carpenter, but your language to those who come to buy from you actually determines whether your chairs will have market or not. So learning how to talk, learning how to receive people is actually bigger than knowing how to make what you're going to make. And it comes out very well. Yes. But my interest now is to know how Mr. Musila's government, the government he praises every day, the government he works for. You know, Musila knows himself as the best president. UNRM is the best party. The government is running very well. In fact, he tends to convince me every week, we have done everything. We have achieved everything. What have you achieved, Musila? NRM's performance is 30%. Just there.
You see, the trouble is if all pastors and the sheikhs stopped for even 1 year, not just only 1 year, not preaching, we would be in chaos. The very fact that a Muslim must pray 5 times a day and also go for Juma. The very fact that every Sunday Simon carries his Bible in the left hand and close near the physical heart to go to church makes a difference. So the moment NRM cadres are not carrying these Bibles closest to our heart and telling other people of our achievements, we are doomed. We are doomed. Chadondo should be doing this. Those of us who sacrifice, you say I work for government, where? Which office? I work for the people of Uganda in Bubulo East in Namisindwa district. But I'm simply because I'm a trained nationalist, a Rastafarian. I must as well praise where praise is. We are talking about point number, is it 7? Point number 7, elimination of corruption and the misuse of power. You shot me down. Yes, I've accepted. We have problems, but we are talking about them. True. But what about the rest of the points? Now, let me come to the Ugandan. Are you simply making a Ugandan young business person a foreigner in his own microcosm, in his own area? If you have trained him in tailoring, now, do you think he can establish one and the market is there? Number 2, do we train with emotional, sentimental backup the way Bagisu circumcise? You don't need to tell my son to circumcise. He knows already he must get circumcised. So, you are training a child, but make the family believe in what the child is going to do or how the child must be trained what to do. The Madivanis, Mulujubai, from 1920 to 24, they were buying the whole of Busoga until the colonial government stopped them by 1925. And they put even a law.
It is the colonial government that stopped them?
Yes.
They tell us it is the Chabazinga who stopped.
Oh my God. No. Of course the Chabazinga complained. And the colonial government put law, no more buying of land. Otherwise, Madivani would be in Igang or the whole of Busoga. But these are people who came here. They are Ugandans. I don't want to speak bad of them.
They are Ugandans?
Yes, they are Ugandans. They came here as coolies, railway workers, 1896. You see, generations from 1924 up to today. Next year, they are making 100 years. Next year, 100 years. Why? And they are the richest family. So the best, if you want, like Babirie said, from Busogo, Ubuntu, Obobutono, Tonobokora, begin with those small things. What is training? Train and follow up and see what the children are doing. This is what is done in Eastern economies.
No, that's the other question I was going to.
Yes.
I think after you to him.
Yes.
Are they following up?
Very good.
To find out that those they gave skills are actually you doing anything. And then to find out from you, what are you as government helping them? Since they are doing a great job to handle part of the people, you'd have handled.
Government is
Are you
macro.
supporting?
Government is macro. Any government is macro. Put channels. Do you know where we have succeeded between you and me? I know there are some some Ugandans of Indian origin, but are people going to Indians? I've bought 2 supermarkets in Mbale when the Indians are putting up and saying, no, we can't. People are not going there. They have become so patriotic, they want to buy from fellow Africans, just like the Jews do. In Jinja, people are, these other, especially foreign Indians, are running away. You see? So the Ugandans, it takes time when...
Actually, even competition, you have Ugandans have put up stiff competition.
Stiff competition. They have now Indians are running to Rwanda or Kenya or Congo or Southern Sudan. In this book, Obote says, the move to the left. Can we move to stay in the centers and leave agricultural land? And the people of that time in 1960s said, this old man is stupid, he's mad. Today we have moved by ourselves. Just like 1789, when the Queen said, if you don't have bread, go and eat a cake. Isn't it? At the time, it caused the revolution. Today, my younger people here, you eat cakes every day, and you don't cause a revolution for eating cakes.
Were not
all over. So the prophecies of the time are what we call in Western world vision and mission and whatever. These are prophets. Once you make a prophecy of the time, it will live along the way. Today, Simon Muyanga is proving that what Obote thought about.
Very many years ago.
very many years ago is seen
Meaning,
today.
if he had been left on course
Yes.
to implement
Yes.
this
Exactly.
as he thought about
Yes.
it, or
Yes.
if we had
Yes.
the subsequent governments had bothered to implement what
1970 Nakivubo
would be a
pronouncements.
different.
1970 Nakivubo declarations brought this man down by these imperialists, by these Babylonians, by these Luciferians. This is why I hate them. Who drove him in? Out of the 4,000 soldiers, only 600 got involved into the coup. And I cannot believe the Israel who had come to train our police here was the one saying, no, General, we must go forward. He was panicking. On the 24th of January, 1971, if it were not for Colonel Balev, he would not have managed it. We have the history to tell the people. And maybe a few of us. So they disorganized this kind of thing because they thought Obote is a socialist. Disorganized us. We would be on the coast. We were richer than Indonesia, than Singapore, and others by 10 times. You see? They swerved us off the road. I am happy President Museveni has tried. We can have all the weaknesses, and no leader is blameless. I don't know whether you have a leader who is not blamed, but NRM has tried its bit to put right a few 1, 2, 3, 4 things that today we are able to sit here instead of Amini's. You should have been there when I was in Uganda here in Nakifuma. When the first shows of TV came, there was a rich man who was an army man called James. He has just passed on recently. And my father was a tenant on his land. So we had to go to watch TV on his batteries because he was an army man and whatever. And the first waves came. Today we have over 50 private ones in this country. This is what we must tell our younger people. The country is your country. I am 58. How much time do I have to live? I can't live again for 50 years. No.
Why not?
Yeah, no. 50.
58.
No. I make my own declaration. I can't live for the next 50. No. But what about this young man? He can live for the next 50 years. So should we disorganize this country? It is him to suffer more.
Jackson is a 20-something.
Yes, it is. This is why drink wisdom from us and use it to build this country. No leader is going to put money into your pockets. But I think Uganda, our culture is so potent on the African continent. The other time I was here telling you how all presidents of Eastern Africa have come from Uganda or have had a touch in Uganda. Ask me on any president of East Africa, past and present, who have never been in Uganda. So when President Museveni is talking about regional cooperation, it is also here. You read, Obote says Swahili, Lingala, what not, and regional cooperation. Okay? But Uganda is an epitome.
Because by saying Swahili, you have captured Kenya, Tanzania,
yes,
and the rest. By saying Lingala, you have Congo already here.
Are we not Congo? Your history tells you that. Are we not Bakongo? Our migrations? By history? At least I know you are intelligent enough, Simon.
I know we are Ngoni migration. we are Ngoni.
No, we may be Ngoni, but more so the Interlacustrine Bantus, all of us came from Bakongo area. Interlacustrine Bantus, you, I, and others. Interlacustrine Bantus.
One question you are not answering, John,
is
how you, in Parliament, as an institution, have supported the efforts of I and him in teaching skills education. That one you are not answering. What is your parliament?
From the Kajubi, Centers of Kajubi led educational reforms of 1992, the white paper, the blue paper, what not. This is what Parliament supported later when it became Parliament. And today we vote money into skills, into education. The Ministry of Education, check the budget. You see? What about the centers they have built? If it were not Parliament voting that money. already 22. But we are able to empower these children, enter like mine in Bugisu, in Busiu, for Eastern. The children enter free of charge. They stay, eat, get trained. 6 months, we off-road. I was party on the first graduates already in the field. That's why I'm saying...
What has been the impact in the field?
No, of course, this is just a few months ago. The impact, evaluation, it should be assessed after maybe 1 year. You can't know the evaluation within just only 1 month or 2. This is not something which is like a commercial business that in this month I made this profit or not. No. Social business is so complicated, so macro that assessment, for those of you who are trained in Western type of culture. So, to me, my younger brothers here, my sons, this country is moving the right way. The Basoga, who have at times complained about sugar cane, they are also growing beans and maize, which was not party to Busoga. Even Vene, avocado, the biggest farm of avocado in Uganda is found in Mayuge. Am I right? Am I right? You see? And the first country in the world, the export of avocados is Mexico, followed by Kenya. Now, Uganda is going to be the third in the whole world. Pigs, pork. Uganda is now the best in the region, exporting to all surrounding countries. And also the best pork eater after China. In the whole world after China, Uganda is eating pork. It is income. It is income. Whoever eats pork, you may not pay because it's an agricultural thing. But you are eating pork, you are buying soda, you are buying beer, you are paying tax. Sawa sawa. Watu wetu mpaka lazima tuwafunze hivyo. Mjue eti mwenendo huu tunaendelea vizuri. Tunaendelea vizuri kabisa. Msije mkaribu nchi yenu. Yangu na wewe, na hata mimi sina miaka mingi kabisa kuishi hapa. Pengine hata Mungu akinipatia tu hata 30 hivi, I will be very grateful.
Now it is only my mother who has understood you, because
yes.
for her she knows good Swahili. For her she worked with you people in Kakamega,
yes.
Bali there.
Si anaelewa Kiswahili vizuri?
Yeah. Anaelewa?
Anaelewa Kiswahili vizuri. Mami hata saa ananitazama vizuri, anasema huyu mtu Mugisu huyu anaelewa Kiswahili
mzuri sana.
She understands Kiswahili very well, mzuri sana. Anaelewa, sio ukisema kulewa is getting intoxicated. Elewa. Anaelewa.
She understands.
Yes, ukisema analewa, hapo she's getting drunk. So, I want to tell you, my Ugandans, for those of you who read Mamudani Muhammad. He was my lecturer in Makerere. He wrote this book, Imperialism and Fascism in Uganda. He analyzes the problems of Uganda, pre-colonial, colonial, and post-colonial. And read also his masterpiece, the first book he wrote, Neocolonialism in Uganda. Read it. So that you are able to capture where we came from. The moment Simon, Ugandans are on WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, paying the Silicon Valley, Zuckerberg, in California, we are doomed. We must get.
But that's what I was challenging you on.
Yes.
That I see every day how a simple idea, like the Zuckerberg you're talking about, a simple idea of making us be able to converse, to chat world over, is making him seamless billions and billions of dollars every day.
He's becoming richer than
cheap.
America.
He's becoming richer than America. What then can we also create under our skills education that our friends are teaching, and our own innovation, and our creativity and what can we also get once that we know we have created this one that brings so much money to Uganda? Because Ugandans are innovative. Other than duplicating cars and saying we are Chida Motors and the others, what is it that you can uniquely create?
You need to go outside this country, and I know you have done several times. Go to China, you go to Guangzhou, see if the Ugandans are not there. Go to Japan, US, and whatever. And I request Ugandans, if you are there, these people stole from us. And the white man says hook and a crook. Make all hook and a crook and bring back the money.
Steal from you. You
Yes.
could not sustain this.
No, thank you.
You could not consume it.
So if I've kept them, I think I'm not using it. Does
So
it
we-
give you a right to steal it or to take it away
We
from
leave
you?
it idle. Are these people conscripted? They go voluntarily.
No,
They
I'm
get visas.
saying, which is okay.
They go and work voluntarily. What you are not doing,
Yes.
your government, if you are sober,
Yes.
would be now to trap them back here, to bring the skills they have acquired there to work here. You are not doing it.
Are you sure? Are you sure that we are not doing
Do you
it?
know how many people? You need to go to the airport
Yes.
at Entebbe and see the traffic,
Yes.
and see how many Ugandans get out of this country on a daily.
I know.
On a daily.
And do you know how many companies, airlines, which are now landing in Entebbe, which was not so 20, 30 years ago?
Now, for you, look at airlines.
No,
as a
no,
capitalist,
no.
because you make money.
No,
there.
that is not the case.
As a student, I'm looking at our people.
That
living.
would be going for a minor reason.
The hot
I'm
car
talking
at
about the
9.
macro reason.
Ne John Musila, katumalirize ne Jackson Were on what they are doing, and lastly, what could be the few challenges, and what would you want government to do for you?
Let me start with your last question. First of all, overall likubuuza nti yo government yekoze ki. Nga NGO, I think I share appreciations with the rest of other NGOs, kubanga we are partners of the government. Hey, yeah, we are partnering with the
That is
government.
it.
We want our government.
We are partners. I don't know whether you want to interpret it into the bantu bachi.
Muli ba mukwano.
Tukolera walala ni government oba tuyamba ku government yotukiriza ebirubira byayo era.
My partner is my wife, so if you are partner with the government, you are government's wife, you sleep in the same bed. You are government.
Awo katuveo. So government ina kyekoze in that line. Otuwa platform okusobola n'otuikiriza omukisa okusobola twena okola contribution kwiwanga lyaife. Because DROHA, for example, it's an indigenous organization. It is Uganda based. So tujebaza government otuwa ogwo omukisa. Mpozi n'ekindi eri ebintu by'eridye nga neebuuza nze at a personal level. Kubanga tuliko about skills education. Aye ekiruubirirwa ki nti omuntu bw'aba amaze okwega these skills ajja akola ki? Ekiruubirirwa kye ndowooza nti we share with the government kutandikawo engeri omuntu gy'asobola okukolamu tusobola ogyeta local factory. Aye awo nawali challenge. Omuntu ono alitandiika okukola liquid soap ayambibwa akwatya by the government.
Okumufuula better.
Okumufuula better.
Okumumarketinga.
Exactly.
N'okumuwako kasente.
Exactly.
Kasente.
Even that was the next
Through PDM
government.
and emyonga.
You'll ask that to the next government, not this one.
But me I think, and I give it my prayer oba okusaba eri government nti twalirese obutale bwasalawo kiki ebiwenda. Because I believe waliwo market emala ku muntu alina liquid soap ali awo gwe tuyinza obisama mu maiso oba oli awo ni UNBS gwetasobola kuwa certificate. Aye bw'abanga yeviire yali kutandika ka factory tusooke tumunaturinge. Because tusooke tulingirire how much ono omuntu kyasobola osavinga ku economy economy yaife nti dola tusobole tutyoji ogirwanisa ife bisere bisinga tulingirira ku musolo oba government ejalingira ku musolo eringire ni ku mutindo aye nani asalawo omutindo I think tukalino mu ndowooza y'abako balaba yabatu colonizinga nti omutendo tuli gusayirawo ku international market aye omuntu owekamuli asobola n'okubula sabuni n'anoonya obutangalala ono bw'abanga asobola omuwa sabuni ow'ebibiri
ali ku level ye
where is the challenge aye ate nga mukuu mwa sabuni ali ku level ye ali ku savinga ni tuli ku we are saving
import substitution.
We are doing import substitution. So sometimes abakulu and I'm happy I am with the honorable aba influencing a police over abakola police. Bo bajja baloba kubuuza ebyo ebibuuzo bindi. Aye ate mukogera kwa ibo olundi baba so impressive because when you're hearing President Museveni saying aliko babaye Uganda build Uganda import substitution. Tulobe kulingirira kutwala dollar outside oba send if outside aye tukole ki. Now bwe bituuka ku implementation twayenda okola omutindo okusinziira eno waigulu wawala eno it starts with nono omuntu ali kutandika biki byetaaga okwongera oba oliawo yena competinga n'akatala akandi.
Thank you my brother Jackson. That ends the hot cup at 9 today. John, you had anything to say?
I must say the first thing is for you to believe that Ugandans are a bright people. The likes of Simon, you see that brain wasted here, I must say. He should be somewhere teaching. Number two, mpaka lazima tuendeze hii nchi ni nchi yetu. Ni nchi yetu. Right now, we are able to export to Kenya kombucha, enguli, what not. At the border, I come from the border. At the border, of all smuggling now, 70% is from Uganda to Kenya.
Good news.
Good news. And all those are taxes to this country. I know. We were conned. We are in a heavy, one of the most indebted, the fourth in East Africa to be indebted after Sudan, Kenya, Burundi, it is Uganda. We can solve that with the selling Njaga and other things in the future.
Okay.
Njaga will bring back the economy.
The Hot Cup at 9. Baba TV. Gangamka, the special edition of this Monday, the 26th of June,